I'm pretty sure by now I've been talking about Suikoden quite a bit on this channel because of the LP that Suikoden is doing, but because I seem to never shut up about it, I'll do a top 10 about it. I've done some top 10s, one accidentally on another channel, that have had Suikoden characters in it. So I figured I'd do an actual Suikoden countdown for this channel. And Shiro was not in it, but Ryu is in it, so enjoy the list. Oh, and I forgot to mention, no major plot spoilers, personally, because I don't know any. Number 10 is Shu. CHU. Or SHU. Okay, excuse me for the spelling error there. But Shu is a war strategist taught by Master Matthew, along with the number 5 entry on this list. He was begged by Ryu, Nanami, and Ryu's party to help them with their strategy, unless he said you need to stop the water he wanted you to find a coin by one night. And I'm not giving away plot spoilers, but he does join your group and appears to be your best strategist. Excuse me, I had a bit of a mild hiccup. He's your best strategist in the game, and eventually, to my knowledge, leads you to victory against Stalin G. Next is number 9, who's much less level-headed. At number 9 is Zanza. Zanza is a very snarky, optional party member who's one of the stars of Destiny, along with a lot of the characters on this list. He's a great fire user and is a pretty good magic user for early in the game. He's somewhat noble, but the only reason that it gets him so low is his odd attitude, and that he's not that strong until much later if you have to train up. But Zanza's okay for what he is, but that's why he only gets the number 9 spot on this list. At number 8 is Gilbert. Gilbert was part of the rebellion, was part of the Highland Army, but was convinced by our number 4 and number 1 spot to switch sides. If you actually play the games, please don't spoil this for anyone who has. I haven't played it, but I know it. He's a very noble warrior, stands by his word, and that's all I know much about Gilbert, aside he's one of the 108 stars of Destiny. Overall, he's not as cool as their number 7 on this list. Edward Cullen and Necklord's worst nightmare. At number 7 is Con Marley. Just for the record, Con! Sorry I had to. But he's searching for Necklord and the Star Dragon Sword because he's in a family of vampire hunters. He's very noble, just like Gilbert, but he just he doesn't last long for your party, and doesn't fight aside from you for you that long. But he's still a little cooler because we know more about him. So that's why he takes the number 7 spot on this list. At number 6 is another star of Destiny, Leona. Leona may not seem like she does much because she can't do anything in battle, but she's very important to the game as you switch your party with her. Leona, the ones that are not in your convoy, which are the ones that follow you but cannot be used in battle, such as the number 5 entry on this list, and all the other ones which you have had in your party but are not currently in your party, she takes care of them, and she owns a tavern, which is pretty interesting. But overall, Leona is a very good character. She's got a calm personality. She's very nice, and I imagine her sounding southern. That's not an observation, that's just an opinion, but Leona's a pretty nice character, and she's very helpful, so that's why she's number 5 on this list. Or excuse me, number 6. At number 5 is Apple. She is a war strategist trained by Master Matthew, I think is how you pronounce it. But she helps the city-state against the Highland Army, which consists of Ryu and a lot of the other characters on this list. But she's not usable in battle, but she does have a very calm personality, and she eventually helped them to victory, to my knowledge. So that's why she's number 5. Number 4 is Flick. Flick finds you after you jump into the river along with our number 1 entry on the list. He's got a ready for battle personality, he's very wise, and has been in a couple of wars prior to Suikoden 2. But he is very strategic. He challenges you to a duel at one point, and you win to gain trust to get him into Muse, which is a city in the game. But Flick overall, he's pretty cool. He's very noble, and he's got a cool head for a lot of the game. Even though he does separate from your party a lot, he's still at very high levels when you get him in your party at that point of the game, which for that reason he gets number 4 on the list. 3 is Ryu. I know what you're going to say. He's been on the list before. Well, shut up. This is a list all about Suikoden. It's my list. I'm sorry if that came off rude. To all the people that hate, though, shut up. Ryu is the protagonist of this game. You have control of him ever since the beginning. There's not much I know about him aside from he's protecting the world. But he's the adopted son of Genkaku, who was part of the war in Suikoden 1. But aside from that, Ryu's just a brave protagonist with a goal to stop Luke of Light. Number 2 is Nanami. Nanami is Ryu's younger sister and is the main heroine of the game. She joins your party after your incident with the Unicorn Brigade, which is the army Ryu was a part of in the beginning. I forgot to mention that. Overall, she's very helpful, and the way she gets dissed in the game is... I feel bad for laughing, but I do. And she's probably one of the most reasonable characters in the game for a lot of people to relate to because she's kind, has very tomboyish attitude. For the girls who play this game, I know some people have, but all I know is Nanami's a very relatable character and adorable at times. And I don't mean it that way, people. But overall, she's a great character and is a staple to your party and your game. Overall, she's not as cool as the number 1 character on this list. Number 1 is the city-state mercenary who saves your behind, Victor. Victor, along with Flick, are 2 mercenaries from the city-state who find you and Joey. He finds you, but he finds Joey as well. Later on, at early points in the game, after you jump from that river, from Captain Rowd, who I should spoil was one of the undercover people in the beginning. I mean, it's not that bad of a spoiler, but anyways, moving on to Victor. He comes off as arrogant and a bit of a jerk at the very beginning, but I grew to like this character. He's has a lot of character progression, and using the Star Dragon Sword like Khan Marley to try to defeat Necklord. Overall, Victor is he did have a crush on a character who was killed in the game. Lucario probably knows what I'm talking about because I just spoke with him before I recorded this segment. But overall, Victor is ready, and he's sort of like a tactical general before a leader is decided. But overall, his character is probably one of the most developed in the game, in my opinion. And that is why Victor is number 1. If your favorite didn't make the list, my bad. But personally, it's my list, so make your own.